ladies and gentlemen. So, first of all, you may have noticed you can hear me now. And you're probably thinking, oh, he got a new microphone. And you would be wrong. I already had the microphone. My computer does not have a microphone jack. So I had to buy an adapter. So, yeah. Thought I'd mention that. A couple videos. I know the first few, the audio was lackluster to say the least, so just wanted to mention that. Mentioned it in the last video, probably mention it for the next couple, just I don't know, just because I can. So today I want to show you Imp Master, which is kind of a I like this.
Gul'dan versus Liadrin.
My blade burns with holy fire.
Your soul shall be mine.
Actually, we'll probably send that back. I have the soul fire just for end game.
None will survive.
Just for end game. For lethal, basically. So. Okay. And we don't have a turn to play. That's fine. That's fine. So I'll probably just tap. I really like these. These you get these on the board and they tend to stay on the board and they tend to keep that side of the board clear just for that very reason.
Speak your peace.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of nonsense like this the last couple days. Well, I can kill one of these things. Okay, this is why I called it Imp Master. I saw this, and I said, "Oh, it's like Imp. It's like Imp Implosion." Need to learn to talk. Of course, it just summons four imps. This is one of those cards you look at and you're like, "Oh, that is going to be so good. Or I'm going to be able to do so many things." Yeah, not really. It's great for like. Dark Pact, when this healed for 8, it was better, but... is this what I want to do? Yes, this is what I want to do.
I don't need any of you.
Next turn we can get that out, okay. I mean, this is not a great start, but we've got Life Drinker, and depending on what this gets us... We've got Lord Diraxis. I could... No, it's... We're on turn 5, I was going to say. I could do this. No. I looked, it's 9 costs.
The light dims, but we fight.
See, I mean, this is all low. He only buffed those up. He ran that in, yeah. We can get this under control. Because these are going to die. So.
Unleash me for me.
And then another turn that's gonna die, and yeah. So I could either run, because I have 2 of these, and I have 2 of the Oh, and he even brought it down to 1 health for me.
Thank you.
Indeed. So, I mean, while this is not great, there's been worse situations.
The light protects me. The light
So.
dims, but we fight.
Yeah, see, those are gonna die. I don't think. There we go. That's the one I was just talking about. Yeah, I think to protect him as much as I'd love to heal.
Can this go on?
Your soul is mine.
Yeah. See, and now we're getting board control again. He's got 8 cards. I've got 8 cards. Okay. See, things are going to die now. And most people don't even run anything into this. They either just try to take it out in one fell swoop, or yeah. Okay, we're 1 turn away from twisting Nether. What do we want to do here? So, I'm gonna do this. Life tap. This will do 2 things. It healed me and it gave me armor. So I'm good with that. Okay. That's gonna die. I'm planning on using this next turn, so I'm gonna throw out Arthas.
Your soul is mine.
Free me!
Yeah. That. I'm gonna go face. There we go. So now he's got 1 thing. He can kill my taunt. But we're good otherwise.
Out of my jungle.
Reporting for duty.
This is not the most exciting deck to play, but it is effective. Do I want to Twisting Nether, or do I want to Martin the Fox? Got Void Lord if
So
I
many
waited.
possibilities.
I'd like to play this on a clean board though. Alright, this
Your
is what I'm gonna do.
soul
I'm just
is
gonna kill
mine.
that. Gonna go face, and then we're just gonna do this. Oh, nice! Oh, I can combo those. Oh, we're doing that. Oh, yes, we're doing that. Okay.
Put
See,
your
this is
faith
the
in
one I
me.
always want, is Anti-Magic Shield. I love this. That's why I throw Arthas in everything. Okay. Alright, let's think about this for a minute. 2/2 can't be targeted by spells or hero power. So that would give us 9
So
damage.
many possibilities.
So... Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this,
I
because it's
don't
got a
need
shield.
any of you.
And then I'm going to play this. And then we'll do it next turn. We'll try... Oh, this... Why did I think that summoned 3? I can't read. I like that. Yes, I like this. Okay. Yes. We'll try to play something next turn. Buff it up as well. Okay, this is great. She hasn't played any removal, though. So... And I would have said this was a new player, but to have Tyrion and that... Well, that's a rare. Either way, that breaks the shield. That's the turn. So, okay.
Reporting for duty.
So... Oh, perfect. Okay, wait. That gives us exactly... Okay. So that's going to destroy... Is this what I wanted? Yes, because that's going to destroy his weapon. And then we'll do this. And then we'll go face. Okay, see, this is what I was saying. It works. It's kind of a lackluster deck, but it works. So, now I'm thinking Void Lord next turn.
Reporting for duty.
He has nothing big and he's filling up his board. Oh, damn.
Belongs to the fight.
That's annoying. It's fine. 10 damage. I always forget about this. It's a weird card.
Reporting for duty.
It's not like a standard Paladin net deck kind of card. Okay. So I think we need to play that for survival. We have 4 damage in hand, so I need 6. That's 3. That's 7. I need 3 more damage. And we can win. I only have 1 of these. I have 2 of these. If I could draw those. Are you kidding me? I only had 1 Twisting Nether. I may have been premature on using that. I mean, it looks bleak again. We could win. Or he may do it for me. I've lost, haven't I? I have no taunt. I have no way. I mean, yeah, it's not even gonna help. I mean, unless I draw the other one. Damn it! Oh! 2 damage! Oh, GG. I should have waited on my Twisting Nether, maybe.
You win.
Oh. But how do you counter that? Oh. My god. So close. Okay. Let me show you what's in here. So, as I... where are we here? Amp Master. There we go. So, like I said, the idea came from Fiendish Circle. Summons 4 1/1 imps. Still don't know why I was thinking 3. 2 death packs. Because at the time I put them in here, keeping in mind this is a new card, it healed for 8. It just nerfed this. 2 Mortal Coils, because of course. 1 Soulfire just for lethal. Which, as you saw, does not always work. Gnome Ferratu. I like this card. I think this was my favorite card of this last expansion. I just like the effect, the art. It's a gnome. It's like a vampire gnome. How cute is that? Yeah, I mean, it's not badly statted. It's a good low cost early game card. Warlocks haven't had a lot of those. You know, you look at Flame Imp or Succubus. You know, discard a card. You know, they all have negative effects. It's a good early game card with a decent effect. 2 Loot Hoarders. I tend to be running loot hoarders in a lot of decks nowadays. It just seems to work with draw. I know it may seem weird in a Warlock deck to have card draw, maybe for some people. If you don't have to, do 2 damage to yourself, you'd rather not to. So this works well. Plated Beetle. Now, if you get the armor, you basically get a free card draw with this. So it's not too bad. Lone Champion, just for some taunt, just to get into some of the bigger stuff here. I think this is probably the deck that most relies on a combination of minions and spells, and to a lesser extent RNG. There's a couple random, like Martin the Fox. If this, most of the cards I've seen this give you are good. Depending on the game, though, I would say they can be very situational on their benefit. Arthas, just because, as you saw, aside from anti-magic shell, he has a card that steals a minion from your opponent's deck. For a Warlock, that can be great or terrible depending on your opponent's deck. Yeah, I think there's like 4 or 5. I think like 3 of them, 3 of them do like negative effects. There's all of, I think, 2 cards, maybe 3 that are really decent. I hope to get when this dies. And I don't particularly like the stats, but it does give you a card. And for a turn 4 play, I tend to find that turn 4, at least now in the current meta, is a little bit stale. There's not a lot of big 4 cost cards that I'm seeing, or that people are playing anyway, I should say. So yeah, it's not a bad little card. Fiendish Circle, Life Drinker, just, why not? Again, if you have to draw, you're doing damage to yourself, does damage to your opponent. A 3/3 for 4 is not great, but with an additional, does 3 damage, heals you for 3, for 3/3 for 4. In that case is not, in that regard, is not bad. It works well here. I think I honestly threw this in here just to play it, just for the sake of it. Between the Lone Champion and this is overkill. You don't even need Void Lord. This is a very situational card in this deck. This is more than enough. You have 6 taunts right there. Just with Lone Champion. This has a shield, so you're going to be trading 2 things into it almost always. This rarely gets silenced for some reason. So neither does Arthas. You don't see a lot of silence anymore. So yeah, this usually dies quicker than this does, which I suppose makes sense since this has a shield. So yeah, I like it. Depending on the game, yeah, you could argue this is overpowered. I don't know. It seems to work. It's a good card to play. It's an annoying card to play against. Yeah. Bane of Doom. I usually include this in most Warlock decks I make. I'm starting to reconsider that because it's just not drawing. There's too many low cost cards that are they're not, it'll give you this. It's just not worth it anymore. I'm starting to notice. When you could play this and there was a chance you were going to get Melganis, I don't know why you wouldn't. As far as I know, these cards aren't limited by the restrictions of the year. meaning it will summon any demon. It can summon you Illidan. It can summon you something that's from the new expansion you don't have. It's a random RNG kind of thing. But I'm noticing the few times that I play it, um, it just doesn't seem to do as well as it did. I don't know if that's the thing with RNG cards is they're really powerful when they're the pool they're drawing from. When there's a limited number of demons, it's a little bit more controlled. As they add more to a specific type, it becomes more of a gamble in playing it. So, been a little disappointed in this lately. Dreadlord, like I said, this card is awesome. This is probably one of my favorite cards in this. If in this deck, if you can get this on the board and keep it alive, you don't even have to. The great thing about this is you don't even have to put it behind a taunt or anything. People are playing such low-cost cards anymore, or just taunts that have no attack, that a 4/5 you don't even have to trade with this to kill anything. That's the best part. You just let all these other, these smaller cost cards do it. As long as they're down to 1-2 health, they'll die. You can just keep going face with this. It's great board control. Very rarely does this die too. I was quite surprised. I thought, oh, this is going to be like, all the removal is going to be thrown at this. No, I don't know why. I don't know what people are thinking, but no. Soul Stone, or Siphoned Soul, excuse me. Because, why not? Martin the Fox, again, think I threw this in here just for the fact that I wanted to play around with it. It's most of the cards this gives you, I think, for the most part, are good. But as I said, they're very situational in your game, and then depending on the card you draw, I've had a 0-cost Ysera a couple times, and of course that just dominated. I've also had a couple lackluster with I can't think of the name of it, but it summons you discover a legendary minion, and it summons 2 copies of it. In that case, discover is discover. It's not always brilliant. One twisting the other. I usually include one. Usually in Warlock decks I make, by the time you get to turn 8 and you've used this, you're either going to win or lose. This is just to help you get to, in older decks, this would have been to help you get Melganis out or something like that to get lethal. In this deck, like you saw, it kind of just clears the board. Just to give you a chance to build momentum back up. Thinking about putting 2 of these in. I might take out Bane of Doom for another one of these, is what I've been thinking. Lord Draxus, why not? Rarely play this. By the time you're at 15 health, you're gonna pretty well know if you're gonna win or lose. By that point, you've drawn most of your deck at that point. There have been a couple times, since this gives you a weapon, keep in mind. There have been a couple times where this has won me the game. At least once, maybe twice. So, not a terrible card to have to round out the deck. When you put in legendaries, you can only have one, so you end up with kind of an odd number of. Usually I put in 2. Unless it's like Bane of Doom or, epics, I will put maybe 1 in, depending on what they are, like Soulfire. So, yeah, it's not bad to help round out the deck. Void Lord, I think just to see I think I played decks that had this and it was annoying. So when I got a golden one, I was like, okay, I can be annoying. This looks really good. It's actually not. For being a taunt, it like rarely ever stops anything. People just kill it right off, and then a 1/3 Void Walker. I mean, you can just work your way right through those. Little disappointed in this. Yeah, if you want this is what's strange. People will leave Despicable Dreadlord on the field to just completely just keep wiping their board. But a 3/9 taunt that summons 3/1/3 taunt, people throw everything at this. Now, maybe that's just my logic that it seems off, but I'm like, okay, this has rarely ever stayed on the board. These actually stay on the board longer than this does. Probably. It's a really weird, you expect after you've played for so long that if you play a taunt, you're like, okay, this is going to go down. That's why you can look at something like Lone Champion and go, well, if you control no other minions, gain taunt and divine shield, and you're like, well, I don't know how good that is. And you're like, no. Turn 3, you can run the scenarios through your head, kind of figure out the logic behind it. You're like, okay, they're gonna divine shield. They're gonna have to run at least 2 things into it, silence it, do something to break the shield before they can kill it. It kind of makes more sense. This, you would think, oh, 3/9. How many minions in the game have 9 attack that somebody's going to get out? Somebody's going to be playing, get out, and be able to kill this with. And yet somehow by turn 9, people still have the removal to kill this. Yeah. Now, probably these stay on the board because they've thrown most of their board at this to get rid of this. But this will use... I have seen this die quite a bit to just straight removal. I don't know what people are expecting you to have. Maybe they're waiting on a Lich King or something. I don't know. It's strange to me how, some cards people just like leave on the board and you're like, I understand Hearthstone is not necessarily a high skill sport. There is a degree of skill to it. As with any game, you play it, you get better. You start to, you get to know. The longer you play it, and the more you know the cards, the more you can strategize. I guess if you were going to say anything, it's don't know that you could call it a strategy game per se, but there is a little bit of strategy involved, nonetheless. Yeah, this is I'm on the fence just because you never know what's going to happen when you play this. Very rarely does it stay on the board. And then you Sarah, just to draw some cards, and yeah, I don't think anything reacts with a dragon in here. I think I just threw it in for the sake of it. So yeah, there you go. That is Imp Master. So let us play another game, and hopefully we can have some better luck.
Gul'dan versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, we'll keep Gnome and Lone Champion. We'll set those back. So we'll go ahead and coin that out. Okay. I was hoping we would have killed her weapon. I think the legendary dagger is... I want to say 4 cost. Or is it 3 cost? Don't remember.
Give me a key.
Halt! Who goes there?
God, that's an annoying card. I can't kill it. But I can do this.
I don't need any of you.
Okay. So, if all the lone champion does is kill that minion, I'm good with that. It's gonna buff it, but I can mortal coil it, I think. So, yeah. We're good. I get to mortal coil a 5-1. I get to mortal coil a... what is it called? I should know. Okay.
You're so sweet.
Not as good as the first one, but... I don't really know that getting rid of the thief cards actually helps me.
This
'cause
guy's toast.
it's class cards, it's not cards in your deck, so...
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
You can kill those, but... Okay, we have Cypress Soul now, so... this is not going well.
What are you hiding?
Okay. I think that's the first time I've seen that card. Let's kill that.
I will be your death.
Well, now he's filled his board. He's going to end up milling himself, so... GG. Thinking... I'm good. Yes, I take 6 damage, but... I don't know if he doesn't realize he's going to burn a card. See, now he's going to burn cards. Damn. Well, he will end up burning a card.
What are you hiding?
God, that's annoying. Ha! Okay. Well, as much as I want to play Dreadlord, I think surviving is slightly more important, so we'll play that, and see how she wants to handle that. Then I'm thinking Dreadlord. Unless she can get... See, like I said, it doesn't stay on the board. I have never seen this rogue deck before. I don't know what this is, if this is a net deck or something he just came up with. He's had an answer for almost everything I've thrown on the board. And I think I'm dead. Yeah. Well, we'll heal, because this isn't going to help now. We will throw... Okay. Bane of Doom's not going to help. But I can play Lone Champion and Dreadlord in one turn, so we might be turning this around. Or maybe... Nope! Well, this has not gone well. This is not going well. Okay.
I don't need any of you.
I'm inclined to believe you.
Mind if I roll need?
So he sacks. He throws one thing into... Nope. Have Duraxis, but I don't really think Duraxis is going to help.
Speak your peace.
Yeah. Dead. GG. Oh, that's disappointing.
This time.
Lost both games. Well, there you go, folks. Not gonna get any more honest video than that. Usually, I promise you, you do occasionally win a game. For a Warlock deck, I usually don't. Normally, I don't have much luck with Warlock decks. But I was even playing that, that's how I got to 19. Before the earlier. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Anyway, there you go. That was my Imp Master deck. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.